Hello and welcome to the Discover Montcalm podcast. My name's Duane, the host and producer. Today, the tables are flipped. Dillinger from M106.3 FM in Greenville is going to be interviewing me in this episode, and we're going to be talking about the Montcalm Area Career Center right after this.
Welcome to the Discover Montcalm podcast, where we are going to look at the communities, the businesses, the attractions, and the people that make up Montcalm County.
M106.3 WGLM. My name is Dillinger of Dillinger in the Mornings. It is 7:07. 616-754-1063 if you'd like to join me for any reason. I have a guest in the studio. Hi.
Good morning.
They're not letting me be alone this week that much, which is nice.
Oh,
I like to have company. It's good to have conversations in the morning.
It's nice to have that back and forth.
It doesn't hurt. I mean, I do that back and forth, but it's just me.
Yeah.
I got my reflection.
Yep, and you laugh at your own jokes.
I sure do. My family hates it, for sure. The voice you hear is Duane Weed.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You are keeper of podcasts from DW Video. Video work, you do stuff with the Career Center, MACC. I mean, what don't you have your hands in?
In my free time, I play music, so...
Okay.
It's life.
I like how you use the word free time.
Yeah.
Don't pretend like you got some. Come on now.
My music is therapy.
Okay, I like that.
So it's cheaper than a shrink, but then you look at how much you spend on equipment. It balances out. I'd rather have musical equipment than, I guess, a shrink bill.
Yeah. I think I'd rather do that too. And I'll get in my car, I'll throw something on, and I'll just take a drive for a little bit, just to kind of dust away the cobwebs and just kind of reset your brain. You know
being a drummer, my steering wheel and my dash are my kit.
They get beat up a lot. Yeah, I know how that goes, for sure. And we're here talking about, we're going to talk about the podcast today, things going on in your world. We had an opportunity to go spend, Cara and I, at the Career Center that you graciously allowed us to be part of.
Oh, we were very happy that both of you were there. We had a senior interview day.
Yeah.
And it gives the students a chance to practice their interviewing skills, because a lot of them have never interviewed for a job. Nope. So we bring in industry professionals, and you and Cara were great at filling in for that. And
it's nice of you to say. We felt so out of place. We're like, I don't think we belong here.
Actually, you did. You did. And that's the whole thing about it.
Yeah.
Is that you give the kids different people that they don't know a chance to sit down and learn different interviewing styles.
Yeah, because you're not going to get the same person twice. There's a lot that are very, I got my paperwork. I have this series of questions for you.
Exactly. And the results back and the feedback from the students is phenomenal. This is an opportunity for them to actually practice something that they're going to be doing.
Yeah.
A lot of them haven't.
Yeah.
And I had a girl last year that went through it, one of my second-year students, and said nervous at the first couple, but by the time it was kind of like speed dating.
A lot like speed dating.
You move around the group for those that aren't familiar with it, but they get all these different interviewing styles. Well, the week after we did that last year, she got an interview and got the job.
That's
and she
incredible.
said she walked in and she had so much confidence.
Sure.
And that's one of the big things that the Career Center does, is provide these kids an opportunity to practice a skill, but also learn teamwork and all of that
social
stuff.
skills and team building and building of themselves.
Talking to you were like, wow, it was interesting to see the different personalities as they go through.
Yeah, because each student is so different in what they're taking. A lot of ag science. I had a lot of ag science kids come through, which is not in my wheelhouse, but man, they're so passionate about it.
Well,
which is
you're
incredible.
Passionate about what you like. I'm passionate about what I like. Yeah. And when you do, it just kind of comes out. Yeah. It's one of those things that, you find your niche. And the Career Center, the nice thing about that is it's a chance for them to learn a skill, but also kind of try it before you buy it.
Yeah.
And because there are some students, like I've got one this year that went through my program in digital arts, going over to business next year, but her plan is to run a business.
Yeah.
And I said, that is a perfect fit. In my the longer I'm there, and now that we have a business program there, I'd like to see us get them as sophomores.
Sure.
Get them 2 years in the program they want, and then put them into business.
Yeah, because you got to know the management aspect if you're going to try and sell yourself or whatever you're getting into. I mean, you got to understand some semblance of business today.
You do. And one of the things that I've been telling my students since I started back in 2020 is, if you're going to go to college, take business courses.
Sure.
You don't have to go into the big depth of it, but get a couple intro to business, get an idea of what it is, and no matter what field you go into, that knowledge will follow you and it will help you.
And that's why you're teaching it to them.
Yeah.
You got to have those skills. I mean, there's still a few things that I learned in high school when I was paying attention that I carry with me throughout. Yeah. But it's you don't even think about it sometimes. It's just like an instinctive thing that you just kind of fall into, which is nice.
It's great because you I like to say, I love it when I see the light bulb go off.
Oh, yeah.
It
just clicks.
One of the things that my students, and I'm sure it's the same around the building, but kids, and I look back at myself maybe at that age, they do not like getting up in front of people and doing a presentation.
Nope.
So the second day or third day of my class, they're up in front of the class giving a presentation. Now, I started off with...
Peel the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, well... And it's about them. I mean, it's a chance for us to all learn about each other, but it's also a chance for them to get up and start to speak. And I figure the topic about them is probably the easiest one they can research.
Absolutely.
They bring in pictures of their, pets and their family.
Their life, and just kind of try to present it to people.
But get up there and speak. And so kind of pull people out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And... it was nice that you and Cara are on board on the advisory board for my digital arts program.
Yeah. No, that was fascinating. Met great people at the meeting, and your student that was with us. And
Riley.
Riley is incredible, because I had a chance to interview Riley.
Yes.
She came through, and man, that kid is something.
Well, and you see that in almost every program around the building. Especially... I guess a lot of times in the seniors.
Sure.
They come in. Last year you would not have gotten the same interview with her.
And that's what she said.
But that is why we're here. That's why every instructor at the Career Center is doing what they're doing. Not only the skill, but there's a lot of interpersonal communication stuff that we work on.
And that's great. And again, she was very open and honest about her life and homeschool and stuff like that, and just a completely different world. And I could imagine that kid would probably be real meek and reserved and quiet, but
was
absolutely,
and
was.
still has them. I mean, they're still young.
Sure.
But to see that in almost every student that goes through my program,
that growth as they come in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
No one's going to do it for you.
Nope.
You have to be responsible for yourself, and you don't get extra days for deadlines.
Not in the real world.
If you showed up half hour late, or you were meeting with a customer and you didn't go out and meet with them on time, the chances of getting their business is very slim.
People look at that different. They look at you different. They judge the business as a whole. It's a reflection on the business. It's how you represent first impressions, as they say.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect to get your food within a certain amount of time.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And especially in the fast food world, if it takes them 10, 15 minutes, you're not going there again.
No, you'll bypass it until eventually you go back, but you're just like, nope, I'm going to boycott it for
and
a month.
That's the way that I like them to think about it, is deadlines are deadlines.
Yeah.
And, we all have a job to do. And even, we all have a tendency to procrastinate once in a while.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's human nature. But, to learn the fact that, hey, you got to get yourself up, you got to get yourself going. And,
parents aren't going to do it for you anymore.
That's true.
Hitting the real world.
We would like to thank M1063, WGLM, FM, M1063.com. West Michigan Technology and Design Solutions is your local source for managed IT. Websites, design, and hosting. Check them out at WMTDS.com. At Business Growth Engine, Steve Stephen and his team support businesses through automation and streamlined processes. Go to buildergrowthengine.com. DW Video transfers your home movies, slides, audio, and videotapes to digital. They produce and design websites, create business and social media videos, TV commercials, and family storytelling videos. Visit dwvideo.com to learn more. Connect and follow the Discover Montcalm podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Check out all our episodes at discovermontcalmpodcast.com. We look forward to featuring your business, community, nonprofit, events, and more. Contact Duane at 231-250-9624, 231-250-9624. Thank you for tuning in and following the Discover Montcalm podcast.